Hello everybody, this is your host Melstead. I am back again with a new developer blog, number 22. That's a lot of dev blogs over many years, so let's jump right into things here. As we can all see, we have a brand new menu here. We got a nice new backsplash of our entrance zone right up at the forefront of the menu. Brand new design UI, a lot more transparent, clean looking. And if we come into our selection options here, we have the news as usual, and you can expand to see an expanded version of the news. And we have the credits menu here, which allows us to see everybody who's done any sort of major contributions to the game. We have a new rules menu here, which is quite different. This is a shortened version of our official rule book, so this is covers the basics of all of our most important rules. We come over here, we have an in-menu settings option now as well. You can edit all your settings right from the menu instead of having to go in-game to do it. Shop, same as usual. We have a scroll here of all the things that will be in the shop. Then you have your play button, which has all of your teams, of course. So you have Class D, Scientific, Security. Everything's got their own new refreshed color grading palette. We also have tutorials in the top right as usual. So here we have our new gym equipment, which is functions off of a mini game. This is the current placeholder for the eventual addition of expanded gym mechanics, which will add bonuses for working out. As of right now, it still doesn't do anything, but we plan on giving this a bonus in the near future. We have deadlifts here, as you can see. We also can do our pull-up bar as well. Pretty basic, tap space bar on the green. We have a treadmill here as well that we can now use. All very straightforward. And we can also do our dumbbell curls as well, of course. So let's start off by showing one new SCP, which is SCP-076, also known as the Grandfather Clock. This is the room in the new SCP. We approach the clock. You are now old. So you are now an old grunting man. You'll have a couple of different randomized hair options for when you become old. And when you're walking and running around, you have a random chance of tripping, as you will see here shortly. There you go. So I just fell over and took 10 damage because I'm now old. So this isn't a whole lot in terms of content, but it's a nice little funny SCP. And we thought it would be funny to add. You can pair it up and combo it with other SCPs too, so I think it's very interesting. So moving on, we have SCP-2059 here, which is the living wall of flesh. It has received some changes as well. So we will enter. We are now inside a new 2059. As you can see, we are now growing flesh on our bodies. We are getting slower and slower. We're getting pulled into the water, and now we cannot escape. Now we are frozen and cannot move, and we are being absorbed. So we are inside of 093 now, which has been a long-awaited SCP edition, and we have been working on it for a long while. By the way, these UIs here, these are from the gym equipment and are just temporary for developing purposes, so don't worry about any of these sitting here. They will be changed and fixed around for when the game actually update releases. So we're going to enter into 093 here. We are going to pick up the disc, which is now an item in our inventory. Every player is assigned a unique color for their entire duration of playing the game. So my assigned unique color is green, which allows me to open a green portal. The disc is not randomized. Each player is assigned a specific color forever. So as a result, if you want to get into different colored portals, you will have to get other people who have those specific colors to get inside of the portal. So we're going to enter the green portal. And by the way, we can go back through the portal just by re-entering it. Which allows us to go back and forth. So we can come into 093 here. And for the next devlog, we are adding a cinematic mode to the game after popular request that will disable all GUIs and on-screen elements, so you can take pictures. The next devlog, I'll make sure that that is working for other GUIs as well, so that I can give you guys a clean viewing experience. But we are going to enter the house now. That was close. I wonder if we'll make it. Will we make it? I don't think we will. Oh, we didn't make it. So that's a small snippet of 093. There's a lot more to explore. I'm not going to show everything off, but that is a glimpse of 093. I will leave the rest of that for the players to explore. So, coming over here now, we are now in Con X. Con X has received a multitude of mesh-related building improvements. We redid the entirety of the structure to mesh the entire hallway. We've made everything perfectly clean and aligned, so everything now looks more crisp. We also generally changed the style a tad bit of the floor, but everything is now aligned, meshed, and up to date with the new building style. And we have this nice new big sign here that asks for clearance. So we also have redone the Connex lift area. We have remade it to be a lot more industrial looking to fit more in theme with our new entrance area and things alike. We have piping and exposed rock and gems on the ceiling, a new lift style, new walls, all that jazz. Larger new staircase. There's a little bit more design improvements as well. So we will fly down to the bottom of the staircase. Pretty much the same design down here as well. Requires some minor decorations still. Floor Connex has also had the same treatment done. We've also slightly redone the layout. We do not have the new R cross-section on this side. Now it divulges off to the left, where SCP-610 cell will be when it is eventually remade and added. And down this long hallway we have SCP-076, which is probably the largest part of this update after 093, because he has gotten a complete chamber redesign and we are finally releasing him for public access. So players will be able to buy 076 and get their hands on it. And we will be demoing that very shortly in a separate place. So we have 076's new containment here. So that's Abel's new containment, which has a 5-door locking system for a buffer for 076, so he cannot just instantly exit his containment. This will allow FP a minuscule amount of time to prepare, at least. Alright, thank you everybody. We are going to end the first part of the dev blog here. We shall now move on to the next part of the dev blog, which will be showing off SCP-076 and all of its features. And we are back. We are now in our testing facility, this is where we test all of our finer features. This is my co-host here, Shadow Dev, also known as Vegito, in his Super Saiyan Blue and Supreme Drip glory, as you can see. He's very powerful. We will be fighting after.
I'm really strong, I promise.
Yes, so this is the creator of 076, so he will be the one to explain the bulk of the mechanics until after, when we will do a POV from my point of view. But for now, we are going to watch Shadow here as he turns into 076, and he shall take over and explain the mechanics.
And here we go. Alright. I will mention right now, you may or may not have seen 076 in servers already. This new version of him has been in kind of like a closed beta soft QA kind of thing with all the developers, so that we could find specific things about how we should balance him and whatnot. But now we've kind of gotten to a place where we like him and we can show him off to all of you. So this is the new model, new animations as well. Obviously everything that the old one didn't have, this one does have. The animations are done by Upesu, which I think he did a pretty good job with them, so if you see him around, give him a thumbs up. But yeah, we'll get straight into it. Abel has a 3-hit sword combo for his basic attacks. So the first 2 hits are just normal sword slashes, and the 3rd hit is a bit special. The 3rd hit will actually launch you forward a little bit. So this allows you to do some clever maneuvering in order to get around faster, to possibly reach your target quicker or escape. The attacks, you can buffer a second one, like if you can click twice and you'll do 2. But it's not too strict. You can also just click, and do your 3-hit attack. But yeah, and each sword hit does between 50 and 100 damage. So if you don't have extra health, there is a 1% chance that you do get one shot, but 99% of the time it is not going to probably around average of 75-ish, I want to say, is the the math if I got the whole thing right. But yeah, if I hit Melstead here, he'll die in 2 hits. So yeah, it's not as strong as the first one, but this one also, that's the original Able, I should say. But this guy's got a lot of additional features. He's packing to you'll have a lot of tools at your disposal. But you see the lightning around Able here. This is what I call the holy light effect. And what this essentially is it's a shield that will protect you from damage for, I think it's about 60 hits. And it doesn't matter how much damage it does. Typically, facility personnel are going to favor higher fire rates to take down the shield faster over higher damage. The shield does not regenerate, at least not to full. If you have less than a third left and you stay out of combat for 30 seconds, it will generate up to a third of your shield. But other than that, it will not come back on its own. Now with that, I'll also mention Able has a sort of phase system to him where he's got 5 health phases. And each time one of his health phases runs out, his shield will come back. So this is meant to give players the opportunity to make riskier plays without risking dying right away. Like if you're in a crowded hallway and there's a lot of facility personnel there, you can make a quick run in, get them all, and then make your cunning escape. So yeah, and then for the last 2 phases of Abel's health, he enters Berserk mode, where he gains 2 extra points of speed. There's a little animation for it as well. We'll show that off later. Yeah, that's all there is to that, I want to say. Did I miss anything Melstead?
No, I think you explained everything nicely. Would you like to get into any hidden mechanics the users should know about that aren't visually apparent?
Hidden mechanics? Abel's got 2 abilities. And each one, like, they've got the attack and the cooldown. So his first ability is a ground smash. This has a 20-second cooldown. I'll mention preemptively here that the cooldowns are sped up in the testing place so that we can show them off easier. So the first attack, the ground smash, is Abel will leap forward and slam his sword into the ground and launch away any nearby facility personnel. So I'll demonstrate this here with Melstead here. So we're just going to tap F or the button. It'll fly forward. It'll send them into the ragdoll state for a couple seconds, which will give you enough time to give them a good whack or for you to run away. The second ability, which is what I'll refer to as his ultimate attack, is Blade Barrage, where he'll shoot a big stream of swords towards whichever direction that you are looking in. I will say there's a bit of inconsistency with these attacks. The ground smash is based off your camera angle, so whatever angle your camera is looking in, Abel will travel in. The character doesn't necessarily have to be looking in this direction. The Blade Barrage, however, will shoot in the direction that Abel is facing. So I'm facing Melstead here. I tap Q or the button to trigger the attack. We'll do the pose and the animation, and all the swords will shoot out in the direction I'm facing. Another thing to note here is that these swords will stick your opponent into any nearby parts or walls. Usually they're going to get hit right away and they'll just die. But the ragdoll will get stuck to any walls. We don't have the ragdoll script in this place, so that won't happen here. Melstead will just fall apart when I hit him with the swords. But yes, it will stick anything to any parts around. This move is good for clearing hallways and such. So if facility personnel are really crowded up in a hallway and you need to get through them real quick, you can pop the ultimate ability and clear the hallway. The other thing I should mention is the sword's trajectory will change if you change the direction you're facing. Swords that have already been shot won't already change directions, but swords that are being actively fired, if I shoot it in this direction and I start facing another way, the swords will slowly follow the direction I'm facing. So there's a bit of adaptability there. It is like there's a delay on the swords that will be in the new direction, so can't rely on it too much, but if you decide that you need to switch which direction you're moving in, the swords will continue to aid you in clearing your path. Alright, and the last thing here that it will show is the Berserk, which happens when Abel's health it gets down to his second last phase, so phase 4 of his health. He'll enter Berserk mode, he'll gain 2 extra points of speed, which will make it easier for you to get around and take down any enemies. Alright, so there we go. As you can see, Berserk is triggered, so he enters a little animation. Yeah, now I'm faster. The other thing I should mention is with the ultimate skill and with Berserk, you are invincible through the duration of the animations, so if you use your ultimate and people just keep shooting you, you're not a sitting duck, you will be invincible. So yeah, just through the duration of the animation. And same with Berserk, because you can't move during the animations, so that should compensate for that. One thing I should go over as well in terms of mechanics is Abel does have a sort of like a cap, we'll say, on how long you can be him. After 10 minutes have passed, your health will start to slowly deplete. This is just to make sure that the site is not completely unusable for a significant amount of time. It does suck, but it's just necessary because we have to, at the end of the day, make sure everyone's having a good time. So through the first 10 minutes, you will be completely fine and you can have your fun. You can try and take down as many people as possible. They might take you down first, but yeah, after that 10 minutes, your health will slowly start draining. Your shields will also go away, so nothing after that. But yeah, I think that's all for mechanics. Did I miss anything?
In terms of other mechanics, you have to be wary of anti-SCP turrets as well. They are stationed up in the nuke shelter, the Class D cells, and the Connex checkpoint. If you enter these areas, the turret will shoot you, and you will most likely die. So do not enter these areas, because if you enter these areas and die, it is your own fault, and we will not compensate you for lost Robux at the expense of the loss of your character. Avoid these areas like the plague, and you will not be killed. Same goes for Teslas. Teslas will one-shot you, just like they one-shot every other player. Do not get hit by Teslas. Be very careful around them as well. Same goes for Teslas. If you die to a Tesla, that's your own fault.
Teslas are a complete no-go, so you also got to watch your ping, because if you have high ping, you can desync into a Tesla, and there's nothing we can do about that. So just be wary and be cautious and try to have fun.
All right. Those are the bulk of the mechanics explained. Now we are going to switch over to a POV so that I can demonstrate 076's different abilities from a first-hand perspective. This is what you will see when 076 spawns in. As we can see, we have a GUI here that explains how your skills work. Press the X here in the top to get rid of that. You will have your on-screen icons for everything. Your cool animation, and you can run around like this. And with the combo string, you can do the whole jumping thing where you launch yourself forward using the momentum of the stab. So we are going to demonstrate the skills now. So this is the ground smash here. As you can see, you just fly forward and you smash the ground. Very simple. And to reiterate, these skills are sped up twice as fast as they normally are to allow for testing.
If you want to show that off.
So this is the Blade Barrage skill. So you get that cool cinematic as well as the launching of the swords forward. They go considerable distance, but they can't quite make it all the way to the end of the hallway. So you need to be mindful of the distance between you and your enemies as well when you use the skill, because if you're too far away from the people you're shooting at, then your swords are pretty much going to be useless and will just disappear before they actually hit anybody. 076 is mechanically very straightforward. He has those 5 phases as stated before, and each phase has a shield. Starting at the beginning of the second last phase, is when the Berserk mode kicks in, which is when the animation will play and will show off Berserk and all that. It's all very nice and very balanced, and he does have 3,000 base health points. And as Shadow stated earlier, there's after 10 minutes of being alive with 076, your health will start to drain and your shields will drop down to 500 health. This is to prevent people from camping or being with 076 for too long and ruining other people's experience. And Abel will have a starting price of 400 Robux, which may change at a certain point. It might lower or go higher depending on how we feel. But the starting price per 076 run will be 400. And yes, that is quite a bit of money, but we intend for Abel to be more of a rare thing, which is why it has a higher price tag. Due to the destructive nature of 076, you can practically lock an entire server down of 40 plus people for 10 minutes. And if there's even less people in the server, then it's even easier to wreak havoc in the server, because less people means less people shooting you. So everything is very fair and balanced. We only intend for people to play Abel once or twice. No more than that, unless you have a lot of money. We don't encourage people to waste their money. We would rather you buy a Game Pass instead, because those are permanent. You get a lot more value out of your money when you buy Game Passes, because you actually get to keep what you bought. 076 is more of a novelty thing. Only play it if you can afford it. We don't condone anybody just throwing their money and wasting it. But other than that, that's pretty much all the mechanics, other than one other small mechanic. To prevent nuke abuse on Abel, when Abel spawns in, it automatically adds 10 minutes to the nuke cooldown. So it prevents FP from nuking for those first 10 minutes that you are alive. But other than that, I'm pretty sure that's everything here wrapped up. Would you say so, Shadow?
We want people to have fun with him, so, it will be quite pricey, but, he's a lot of fun to run around with. We've certainly had a lot of fun testing him, and I hope that you guys have fun with him too. But something else we should mention here, we'll be adding this to the rulebook. Abel is not friendly with other teams, so please do not cross team, because if you get moderated because of that, there's nothing we can do. We can't refund you or anything like that, as that's just breaking the rules. So please do not be a friendly Abel.
Yes, so that means all teams, CI, CD, FP, you have to kill everybody. You're not allowed to have favoritism and spare people just because you feel like it. Abel is a bloodthirsty killing machine and only wants to kill human beings. If you are caught teaming, you will be first alerted and warned to stop teaming, and if you do not comply, you will be killed with a command, which will result in you falling over and instantly dying. And we are not liable for that money that you wasted because you are violating our rules. No friendly 076, please. Alright, well that's about everything wrapped up. I will sign off here with Shadow. He will say his goodbye words as well.
Yes, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have fun with the new update.
Alright. Have fun, everybody.